Today I have the keys to a Nissan GT-R Track Edition. Huge thanks to my friend Alex. Check out his channel Lextasy. I will have that down in the description below. This is his 2019. He bought it as a second owner with 7,000 miles on it. It had an original MSRP right around $130,000, and as you can tell, it's finished off in red. Red and blue are my two favorite colors on sports cars, and the red on this with all the black accents looks really nice. So let's go ahead and start off today's video. We're gonna go up underneath the hood where you'll find the 3.8 liter twin turbo V6. This is paired to a 6-speed dual clutch transmission. It produces 565 horsepower, which is about 20 horsepower increase difference from the 2017 model to the previous model. It also has 467 pound-feet of torque. It weighs just under 4,000 pounds, so all that power is sent to all four wheels, which will rocket this from 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds, all the way up to its top speed of 200 miles an hour. So this is a supercar on paper, and as you'll see, it's a family car as well once we hop into the interior. So having all this power and performance, it still gets pretty good MPG, around 16 miles per gallon in the city and 22 out on the highway, running off a 19.5 gallon tank. This car has a wheelbase of 109.4 inches. Its overall length is 185.4. It has a width of 74.6 and a height of 53.9 inches. With all those performance specs and dimensions out of the way, let's go ahead and take a walk around of the exterior on the 2019 Track Edition. So we're gonna start up front. I think my favorite part is the lightning bolt design and the headlight housing. So you can see it run down and across. This is not the DRL. The DRLs are located down below, but this is a running light when the headlights are on at nighttime. So you'll see that extra glow, which I think is very cool. You have the turn signal on the top section of that, and then the LEDs are just below that. And then you can see at the bottom here, this model has an aftermarket carbon fiber front splitter. I think it looks really nice. On the Track Edition, you get a little bit of a splitter on both sides of the front, but they kind of meet and stop right about here, so you don't get anything running across the front. So having that, especially in the carbon fiber, looks really good. There's also parking sensors on the front bumper. You can see two on one side, of course two on the other side. And then right in the center, we have the GTR badge with some nice trim pieces underneath it, and then really nice cutouts in the mesh. That's gonna provide maximum cooling, as it will need a lot of airflow to help provide maximum performance. As we make our way up to the hood now, you'll see there's two functional air inlets on the hood, again to provide even more cooling to the engine. And there's very nice lines that run down it as well. There's a really nice contoured line on both sides just next to the headlights, and then they meet the top section of the grille, the whole front design there really nicely. So everything just has an aggressive look. That's gonna finish it up for the front end. I really like it, especially comparing it to my brother's 2014. All the lines are much crisper. Well, let's go ahead and move on to the side here. For the Track Edition, you actually get the Nismo wheels. So these measure 20 by 10 in the front, 20 by 10.5 in the rear. They're finished off in black with a 6-spoke design, and they are made of forged aluminum. So that's really cool how you get that added onto this vehicle. Just behind that, you can see the goldish brake calipers. They are Brembo brakes. You get 15.3-inch rotors up front and 15-inch rotors in the rear. Just behind the front tire, you can see there's a functional air vent right here with the GTR badge just above that. This has body-colored side mirrors. Down on the lower side skirt, you can see the nice trim piece that extends all the way to the rear. And then all of the lines on the exterior just give it a really nice look. There's a very nice line that runs at the GTR badge just up underneath the mirrors. It goes above the handles all the way to the back. So it has a really nice side profile to it. You can see the A-pillars there are finished off in black just to give it a little bit more contrast. And so that's gonna finish it up for the side profile of the vehicle. Now let's make our way to the rear end of the Nissan GT-R. This has a fixed wing. It's finished off in carbon fiber. I think that is my favorite part. It's very nice. And then this does have LED taillights. You can see there's a quad style design to them with two on one side and two on the other. And then same with the exhaust. You have two on one side, two on the other, so it's a quad style dual exhaust. This does have an aftermarket exhaust system, which we'll go ahead and take a listen to. This actually comes stock with a carbon fiber rear diffuser, so that's very cool to see. You can see there's more heat extraction vents just above that. We have the GTR badge on one side, and the only Nissan badge that you will find on this entire car is right on the trunk lid there. You can also see there's very aggressive lines on both sides, especially this line running down the side here, meeting the bottom portion there. So that is a good rundown of the exterior on the 2019 Nissan GT-R Track Edition. I think it looks really good. I'm really a fan of the GTR. Even though my brother has one, I don't really have a lot of seat time in it or a lot of experience around the car. This is really only the third GTR I've ever checked out. So let's go ahead and hop into the inside now. I have the key in my pocket. The vehicle is unlocked right now, but you can lock and unlock it using this button. And then just by pushing your thumb on the back section of the handle, it will automatically pop out for you. And then you can grab on that and we can go ahead and open it up. So we're gonna start off on the door panel, and you can see there's very nice black leather with red stitching. I like the design that's on the back half here. And then you even have more stitching above that. It's even around the grab handle. Your release handle to get out is on the back side of the grab handle, so you can easily just pull on that. This has an 11 speaker Bose audio sound system. You have a little bit of storage down on the lower section here, and then there's some carpet finishing it off on the bottom section. Moving on to the two-tone leather seats. These are Recaros. You can see the nice cutouts on the top section. We have red trim running down the sides along with red stitching. They are heated. You have that control down on the side of the seat, so you can go to high, low, or off right in the center. They also have about an 11-way power adjustability to them. I think it's a really nice design, especially with the red exterior. They just match very nicely. And then as we take a look at the steering wheel, it's completely covered in leather. There's some red trim running on the inside of it. You can see there's a nice trim piece on the lower section of it. And then this does have steering wheel mounted paddle shifters. They're actually pretty large. They have a nice finish to them as well. We have the GTR badge right in the center, and then off and to the right side, you can see your cruise control. You have your voice commands along with Bluetooth, and then off and to the left side, you have your source with volume and a few other buttons just above that. As we look at the left side now, down below, you'll see the trunk release along with parking sensors that you can turn on and off. There's also a storage spot for the key, so you can place it there while you're driving. This does have power folding side mirrors, so you have those adjustments right there. We have one air vent just above that, and then you can see the entire dash is covered in leather with more stitching. Right in the center, we have the 8-inch screen. Down below, we have shortcuts to the audio, so you can click on that. You have your phone, you can go into information. You have the map, so we can look at the navigation in full screen. You have some more settings for that, and then actual settings that you can adjust as well. There's also more shortcuts to the left and the right side. If we click on the function button, that will bring us to all of the different vital information that you can look at for this vehicle. And there's a couple different pages that you can go into. So we can look at boost, oil pressure, oil temperature. We can scroll over and look at your acceleration and braking. We have your miles per hour in just a little bit different configuration there. You have your torque split as well. We were back to that screen that I just showed. And then you can even look at your speed and your stopwatch or your lap timer. So that's very nice information to have on the functional button there. And then moving underneath that screen, you'll see there's more leather and red stitching. It gives it a very nice divide between the nav screen and all of the controls down below. This has a dual zone climate control system, so you have both knobs on both sides, fan speed in the center, your mode, you have your recirc and defrosters. Really nice that it has a digital screen here, so you don't have to go into that system. And then just below that, we have all the fun buttons. We have traction control off and to the right side. Holding it all the way up will put it into race mode. Same with the suspension, and then the same with the transmission. So you have a lot of different modes. We have the engine start stop button off and to the left side. And then right in the center, we have the leather wrap shifter. I'm gonna go ahead and push on the release on the top. We'll go all the way back into reverse. You will see the backup camera light up. Very great graphics for this vehicle, and those lines turn with the steering wheel as well. Coming back to the shifter, we can just pull it all the way back into drive, pop it over into manual mode if you'd like to, and then just by clicking on it again, we'll put it into automatic, and then we can go all the way back up into park. You'll see there's more carbon fiber running around it. Gives it a very nice design, along with the Track Edition badge right in the center. And then to the left of that, we have more dials for that center screen. So you have your menu back button and then the rotary dial. So you can easily use this if you don't want to use the screen. Off and to the right side, you can see the manual parking brake finished off in leather. We have two cup holders right in the center. And then right in the middle here, we have a good amount of storage space for everything that needs to go there. And then moving over to the glove box, you definitely have plenty of room for everything that needs to go there. You can see there's more leather and stitching on the dash. We'll go ahead and take a look at these seats again. They have a really nice design. I'm excited to get these out on the road and see how they perform. And then up top, we have a sunglass holder on the back side. And then as we make our way to the back seats, I'm not actually gonna hop in them today, but you can see there's a car seat in the back. So as I mentioned earlier, this is a family supercar. You can put your kids in the back. You can go out and have some spirited driving fun with your whole family. So that is pretty awesome. They're not really designed for full-size adults. I'm 5'10". I've ridden in the back before. 4. I can go about 10 miles or so. So it's nothing, a long road trip or anything like that. But they are functional, so that is nice. And last up, we're gonna go ahead and take a look at the trunk. I'll just push the button on the key fob. You'll automatically hear it release. You have about 8 feet of cubic storage space in the back seats. Honestly, there's a lot of room back here. The back seats do not fold down, but you can easily put a lot of items in the back. For a daily driver, you definitely have plenty of space. And then up top, there is a nice leather strap that you can use to grab on and go ahead and close it up. All right, so now it's time for basically my first impressions being behind the wheel of a GTR. If you guys aren't familiar with our channel, my brother has a 2014 Nissan GTR, which you will see here shortly as I go right past it. So I really don't have all that much seat time. I have experience with the car, obviously, because my brother owns one, and he did a full comparison video between this and his car, which hopefully you just saw. I will link that down in the description below so you can get his perspective from an owner comparing a 14 to a 17. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it into manual mode here. Pop it down to second. Wow. And that was just in the conservative mode, getting all the way up to 6th gear here. I'm gonna mess with these buttons down below here in just a second, but I wanna get my first impressions of just driving this normal. It's a normal daily driving supercar, which I think is insane. When I saw the baby seat in the back there, Alex was saying how he can just put his kids in the back and go for a cruise. It was either this or an Audi R8, and you don't have back seats in a vehicle like that. So you're really limited on your family supercars that you can get. And this is a great option. You have trunk space, which is awesome. And so far, it's a very smooth, comfortable ride. I'm gonna pop it back over into automatic mode, and we're just driving, you know, going to work or whatever you wanna do as a daily driver. That's pretty cool. I love this interior, especially from Brian's, the 2014 there. It's a lot more updated. It's very nice looking. I love everything. I love all the leather. These seats are super comfortable. That's enough talking, I think. Let's go ahead and put everything into race mode, as Brian showed me this earlier in his car. So we have everything in race mode. We can pop it over into the manual mode. Everything is going to get much quicker in the shifts. The response time, it's going to get a little more dramatic. You guys can't feel that, but I can feel that. I'm going to go down to second. Not even half throttle there. Wow, you can feel the input in the steering wheel there and the suspension. It's just so much stiffer than it was in comfort mode. Wow. That is so cool how you can go from a cruiser to a track monster. This thing does 0 to 60 as quick, or if not quicker, than supercars 2-3 times the cost of this car. So in my opinion, this is a true supercar. It flies under the radar because it is a Nissan, but it's really a GTR. It's a GTR, and it's such an awesome vehicle. Comparing this to Brian's car real quick, since he has the column mounted shifters, I wasn't sure if I was a fan of the steering wheel mounted, but they are quite large. Wow. And it's super responsive. They are growing on me being on the steering wheel. I like the column mounted just because I think it's a cooler design, but these look very nice. They feel good. They're in a great spot here. Man, this is such a fun car. Huge shout out to Alex for letting us borrow his car for the day. Definitely give the video a huge thumbs up. Check out his channel as well, as he made a video of today's adventure between both of our cars. So definitely give him a huge thanks. We're gonna take it around some of these turns. Wow. It's so planted. You could have so much fun in this car. Wow, it has so much potential as well with tuning and going even more horsepower, or even going with more horsepower and just getting this to a true, like, insane all-wheel drive monster. There's so much potential for it. And then just in automatic here, you can feel the shifts just a little bit, but it's very smooth. And actually that brings me to another point. with Brian's car, I do have enough experience in it to know that there's that clunkiness to the transmission at slow speeds. The transmission is geared towards higher speed settings, so it's very, very smooth when you're going around the track. You're doing very sprinted driving on back mountain roads. It's very smooth and it goes through the gears very great. At slow speed situations, driveway, parking lots, just parking in general, it's very, very clunky and you can hear it. It almost sounds like the transmission is braking, but it's just the design and the nature of the GTR. Being in the 2019, it feels like it's very much more refined than his car. But I think that's gonna wrap it up for my walk around review and test drive behind the wheel of the GT-R Track Edition. If you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure you give it a huge thumbs up, smash that subscribe button if you haven't already, and make sure you have the notification bell clicked as well so you can stay up to date with our daily uploads. And I'll see you guys in the next video.